Hello, Micaela here with another silly song. Today's silly song is one I personally love, and it tells a fun story and it paints pictures in your mind. And even if you didn't have the pictures on the poster, it would still paint pictures in your mind. The song is called Sarah the Whale, and in a moment I'm going to take the title away because if I scoot this up and take the title away, you'll be able to see the whole poster. There are actually four verses, even though there's only three written here. There's a green verse, a red verse, and then a verse that's not written on this poster, and then an orange verse. There just wasn't room for all four verses. Today's song is a great reading song. We're mostly going to learn the tune, and then once you know the tune, if you will just sing the words by reading, that will be really helpful. We'll go over the words of each part, but we'll learn it for verse 1. First, let's get the whole poster up there. Now, you can't see the title anymore, but you can see all the way to the bottom of the poster. As we learn the tune, notice that it starts pretty low. Our voice starts pretty low, and if you're feeling like, oh, this is too low to be comfortable, it starts that way because it goes high, 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 and then it comes back to the middle. So let's do it a little bit at a time. We'll say line by line, but the first line actually is two lines. I'll sing and then you. When it's your turn to sing, I'll sing with you, but I'll sing quieter. You see if you can sing louder than me. So we're learning the words, but we're also especially learning the tune. Here we go, me first. In Frisco Bay there lived a whale. In Frisco Bay there lived a whale. They fed her oysters by the pail. They fed her oysters by the pail. By thimble, by teacup. By thimble, by teacup. By bathtub and by schooner. By bathtub and by schooner. So did you notice it goes really high and then it comes back down? So it starts out in Frisco Bay. This is San Francisco Bay. That's where the Golden Gate Bridge is. There's a whale that lives there. And they feed her oysters in all sorts of different containers. You probably know what a teacup is. You probably know what a pail is. A pail is a bucket. You know what a bathtub is. They feed her bathtubs full of oysters. And a schooner is a boat. They feed her boats full of oysters. This is a word you might not know. A thimble is used for sewing. It goes on your finger and protects your finger when you have to push the needle in really hard so the needle doesn't poke your finger, even on the other end. So that's what a thimble is. I don't really imagine them putting oysters in thimbles and feeding them to Sarah the whale. That's pretty silly. And notice that after pail, it starts really small and the containers get bigger and bigger. Thimble, teacup, bathtub, schooner. Okay, here is the whole green verse, me, and then let's do it together. And I'll add some motions this time. Here we go, me first. In Frisco Bay there lived a whale. They fed her oysters by the pail. By thimble, by teacup, by bathtub, and by schooner. Ready? Here we go. In Frisco Bay there lived a whale. They fed her oysters by the pail. By thimble, by teacup, by bathtub, and by schooner. The next verse words are red. And I love this verse because it's really fun. They talk about the whale herself and what she looks like. And I've drawn a baleen whale, so it doesn't really have teeth. I've drawn a mouth that kind of looks like a human mouth. Talks about her tonsils. When you have something like that in your back of your mouth, it's shaped a little different, and it's actually not your tonsils. That thing is called your uvula, and your tonsils are over on the sides. But I just thought I'd do that just to be silly. She's got such a big mouth because she has such a big appetite. So when she opens her mouth to smile, you can see all the way down inside of her. So maybe I'll do the whole verse and then you do it after me. Red words, me. Her name was Sarah, and when she smiled, she just showed teeth for miles and miles, and tonsils, and spare ribs, and things too fierce to mention. Ready to do that verse? Her name was Sarah, and when she smiled, she just showed teeth for miles and miles, and tonsils, and spare ribs, and things too fierce to mention. Then comes the verse that's not on the poster. I'll sing it for you now, but you don't have to sing it after me because the words are not there for you to follow along. Here comes verse 3. She likes to eat and she's a peach, but don't get food within her reach, or grandmas, or babies, or chocolate ice cream sodas. In that verse, we say that she's a peach. We don't mean that literally. She's not a fruit. She's a whale. We mean that she's a good character. When you say someone's a peach, it means they're a good person. They're a good character. But with Sarah, you have to be very careful what gets near her. She might eat it. We're now on the orange verse. I hope you can see the words. I'll sing all of those words, and then you can sing them with me. Then we'll do the whole song. Orange words. Now what would you do with a whale like that? Now what would you do if she sat on your hat, or your toothbrush, or your mother, or anything that's helpless like that? In that verse, Sarah is so huge because she eats so much. She's so huge that you imagine what would happen if she sat on your hat. That's supposed to be Sarah the whale sitting on your hat, smushing it. Or your toothbrush, or your mother, or anything that's helpless. My favorite picture is at the bottom. Sarah's fat, but Sarah's happy. I don't know if you can see that picture. There we go. Now you can see Sarah. She's spouting through her spout. Let's do that orange verse. Here we go. Now what would you do with a whale like that? Now what would you do if she sat on your hat, or your toothbrush, or your mother, or anything that's helpless like that? The like that is kind of an add-on thing to make it finish for the whole song. The other verses don't have an extra bum bum at the very end. Let's do the whole thing. Don't forget, we do the green words, you can read. Red words, you can read. Then I'll do a verse that's not on the poster. And if you remember it, you can do it with me. And then we'll do the orange words, and then we're done. Here's the whole song, Sarah the Whale. In Frisco Bay there lived a whale. They fed her oysters by the pail, by thimble, by teacup, by bathtub, and by schooner. Her name was Sarah, and when she smiled, she just showed teeth for miles and miles, and tonsils, and spare ribs, and things too fierce to mention. She likes to eat, and she's a peach, but don't get food within her reach, or grandmas, or babies, or chocolate ice cream sodas. Now what would you do with a whale like that? Now what would you do if she sat on your hat, or your toothbrush, or your mother, or anything that's helpless like that? I hope you had fun. I know I had fun. Till the next silly song. Bye.